Today we are going to be simulating the 2025-26 season, as you can tell by the screen I have up right now. So, looking right at it, some things stand out. The Jaguars are in the playoffs, which realistically could happen. The simulator smoked some crack with this one. I don't know how we have a Patriots Titans matchup in 2025. This is maybe if this was 5 years ago, but I don't know how the Titans are in the playoffs. Uh, the Chargers and the Dolphins, okay. The Broncos are the 1 seed. The Bills and the Chiefs aren't even in the playoffs, which is pretty wild considering that they're probably the top 2 teams in the league. So, yeah, the simulator got a hold of some meth, obviously, because that's wild. Looking on the NFC side, Cardinals, 49ers both making it, and the Rams not is also a meth moment. I don't know what is going on with the simulator. That's kind of crazy. Bears Packers, the Bears in it is again kind of interesting, but I guess they could be better. Um, Falcons, Lions, okay, realistic. Washington is the 1 seed. No Eagles, which is very weird because they just won the Super Bowl. So the 2 teams that were just in the Super Bowl aren't even on here. That's already an interesting start. But anyway, let's just get it right into it. We have the Jaguars and the Ravens. I'm gonna take the Ravens at home. Good job, Jaguars, for making the playoffs, but don't think you're gonna go anywhere. Then we have a matchup that happened 5 years ago and probably should have stayed that way. We have Patriots Titans. If the Titans make the playoffs, then I will do something. Comment what I should do if the Titans make the playoffs because yeah, I don't know what that's not going to happen in 1 million years. I can put money on it. I'll put $100 on it. Um, but if it does somehow happen and they play the Patriots, I think the Patriots will win it pretty easily. Okay, to be fair, the Titans have Cam Ward and we haven't seen him play. Maybe Cam Ward will have a CJ Stroud ish type freshman season. But I don't know. I was not expecting to see the Titans with the 3 seed. But I think Mike Vrabel with the Patriots is still a better team than the Titans right now. Then we have the Chargers and the Dolphins. The Dolphins just got Minka Fitzpatrick and traded away Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. That tells me something about the Dolphins. Probably that they're not going to have a great season. But if they get the 4 seed, then, fair enough. I still think the Chargers are a better team at the moment, especially coaching wise. So I'll take the Chargers if that's a matchup. Cardinals Niners is interesting. I like the Niners at home. I had the Cardinals making the playoffs too. I'm pretty high on the Cardinals this season. But if they play the Niners, especially if the 49ers are at home, I don't think that it's going to end too well for the Cardinals. If the Cardinals get home field advantage, then that's a different story. But right now, I think the 49ers win it. Bears Packers is interesting. Packers have a pretty good defense. Bears are probably going to have a pretty good defense too. It's going to be a pretty even matchup, actually. But Lambeau Field in the wild card, usually the Packers will win that. Then we have the Lions and the Falcons. I'll take the Falcons away, pretty easy. Did I just say the Falcons? I mean, I take the Lions away. The Falcons are obviously probably in rebuilding mode. Maybe Michael Penis can do something, but I don't know. Then we have the Patriots and the Broncos, another matchup that maybe would have happened 10 years ago, but probably not going to happen this season. I'll take the Broncos at home. I don't know how the Patriots will perform. They have Mike Vrabel now. They have Stephon Diggs, so they could make the playoffs realistically. I wouldn't doubt that. Same with the Broncos. I like the Broncos defense much better though. I think that they have the number 1 defense in the league. And I think this will be a pretty defensive battle. I think the Broncos will probably win 17-10, honestly. So yeah, just like the matchups 10 years ago. Then we have the Lions and the Commanders. Uh, Commanders, I'm not picking them just because they got the 1 seed, but this is pretty much identical of what happened in the conference championship last year. And I do like to look at past matchups for pretty much every matchup just because usually there's a repeating pattern here. So if these two teams play again, I think that the Commanders are going to win again. Chargers Ravens, we've seen a couple times. We saw it in the playoffs 6 years ago or 7 years ago when Lamar was a rookie. Um, the Ravens are notorious playoff chokers, but if you can't beat the Chargers, then I don't know what to say. I mean, okay, the Chargers are actually pretty good, but the Ravens are at home. They should win that game. Packers Niners, we're seeing a lot of not interesting matchups, but we're seeing a lot of matchups that were very prevalent 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Packers Niners being a prime example. Um, Actually, this was, I think, a wild card or a divisional matchup like 3 years ago, so maybe I can't be talking. But man, I don't know. These two teams are interesting because the 49ers lost a lot of players on defense. Packers have a pretty good defense. I like the 49ers offense more than I like the Packers offense. I'll take the Niners. I don't know. I can see it going either way, really. I just like the 49ers offense better. Just a little bit. If it was 50-50 for me. If the Packers were at home, I'd take the Packers, but 49ers are at home, I'll take them. So then we have another matchup. We have Joe Flacco versus Peyton Manning. I really like making those jokes this video, as you can tell. But Ravens Broncos is very interesting, especially for a conference championship. I was just talking about how notorious the Ravens are at choking in the playoffs. But if the Ravens get these teams in the playoffs, then they have no excuse on not to make the Super Bowl. They play the Jaguars in the wild card round, the Chargers in the divisional, and the Broncos in the championship. Which, if that's not a cakewalk, then I don't know what is. Sorry, Chargers and Broncos fans, but I think that the Ravens are much better. Uh, they don't even have to play the Bills and the Chiefs, so yeah, the Ravens are like, hey, that's one way to get to the Super Bowl, right? Then we have Niners and Commanders, which is interesting. Um, I like the Commanders are a better, well-rounded team, I believe. I mean, if the Niners win, we can get a matchup of Super Bowl 47. I can't remember what the Super Bowl that happened in 2012 and 2013. Um, but yeah, I think I like the Commanders as an all-around better team. I like their defense better. Um, so I'll take the Commanders at home. So then we have a Ravens Commanders Super Bowl, which is interesting because both of those teams are in Maryland, I believe. Or at least they're pretty close to each other. So that would be an interesting Super Bowl. Who would I take? Uh, Now this is actually a lot harder to pick than you'd think, just mostly because I don't know. You'd think that the Ravens would be an easy answer here, but these two teams are actually really similar. So this is actually a really hard bet. I'm going to pick the Ravens to win it, but the only reason why I'm going to do that is because of Derrick Henry, basically. If the Commanders had a better running back, then this would actually be a 50-50 matchup. I like the Ravens to finally stop choking in the playoffs. There you go. So that was a fun idea.